So it's just one extra step for me to get ready in the morning, but it's less at the end than trying, because a lot of times I never just got around to putting them up. So now it'll be live. I'm bringing it up live right now.
So better to watch this on YouTube live, or
No, it's just, get yourself prepared, because what I'm gonna do is eventually just eliminate the Zoom, because Zoom's one of the things where if you're not a subscriber or whatever, there's limitations to it, where with YouTube Live I can, so I can do a lot more. Bring as many people on as you want. It stays up there as long as I want it to stay up. I can make it private if I want to make it private, So I'm just learning it right now, but eventually it'll be, it should be like what I switch everything to once I get it to where I can do screen shares and things like that. So, but for now, I'm doing both because I'm just using Zoom as my platform, and then I can put Zoom over on onto YouTube. So there you have it. All right, guys. Well, it is 1 minute till, and I know it's just me and Dave right now, but as usual, people will come on and late or on time, as Mike always says. If you're on time, you're late, or something like that.
yeah, we've been using that line for years.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, Dave, and then get started, just in case. Okay, just get rid of some stuff on my screen. All right, everybody. Whoop, I don't want to bring that up. Hang on 1 second. Bring me back. Go back in. Okay, here we go. Well, welcome to the Monday morning Zoom training call for Vollara. And there's so much going on right now in the business, so I just wanted to go over some strategies, because a lot of us, obviously still carry inventory on Air Surface Pros, and my thing is that there's such a huge opportunity right now that we could be taking advantage of, and I'm going to go over some strategies on how to do that. One thing that's huge, very big, is that we're now very competitive when it comes to trade shows. One of my biggest issues at a trade show was always there's somebody selling a product that's, to the general public looks the same. So they walk down the aisle and they see that guy's demonstration, it's very good, and they see my demonstration, and then they look at the price point and they say, well, $1,500 for you, $800 for that guy. I'm going for the $800 one because I don't see a difference in it. Even if you sell up the difference, which is what I did, and that's how we made sales at shows, is talking about the difference in PCO versus Active Pure, and not having to use ozone and all that stuff. But in reality, especially when the economy is tight, what are people going to go for? Hey, they know there's an issue. They didn't come to a trade show to buy an air machine, but they got sold on it. So next is shopping out the best price, right? So they're not going to go, I'd say that there's some people who want quality and there's some people who just want value, right? So now we offer that, so I could technically outprice anybody in the market because of my price point now, and the ability to buy in bulk, for these units. So hold on 1 second, everybody. I'm just going to do something real quick. I'm going to go into my live. I want to make sure that I share the link too. So share, copy link. I'm going to go ahead and put the link for this live Zoom up on Team Integrity too. Okay, there it goes. So I just posted that. But anyways, so if you're watching via YouTube, I'm also watching on YouTube as well. And you can make your comments if you have any comments, things like that. I'll just keep an eye on it. Turn the volume down over there. So it's a little bit of a delay between Zoom and YouTube, but it's cool. Anyways, back to what I was getting to. So here's the deal. To be price competitive is huge. And the thing is that product hasn't changed. So the Air Surface Pro is still the Air Surface Pro that it was, that we put into hundreds of schools and military installations and hospitals and doctors' offices and dentist offices and nursing homes and residential. I mean, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people have been protected by Active Pure technology and an Air Surface Pro for years and years and years and years. So what changed? The price changed. The price dropped by half because we introduced a new technology, which is a lot better as far as the coverage area of the old technology. So now you have an Air Service Pro Plus, which is technically getting double the airspace. Well, not even double. Let's say it goes from 2,000 to 3,500. When I started in the company, an Air Service Pro was good for 3,000 square feet. And due to COVID, they lowered that. And I honestly believe the reason why they lowered that isn't because the technology couldn't handle it. I think it's because people didn't know how to run the technology. I mean, I've been in I still go into places where they have an Air Service Pro and they either have an set to AP1 or no AP at all, right? So they got a machine sitting there and they've never turned the cells on. And with this newer technology, just the fact that when you flip the switch, the cells are both running, not just one, but both cells are running. It's almost a fail-safe in the technology to make sure that we're covering 3,500 square feet. Does that mean the old one didn't do 3,000 square feet? Well, I mean, it had the option to. And but due to COVID, we lowered all the numbers on it. So we got more conservative on our numbers. And we said, okay, well, it only does 2,000 square feet. So guess what? I can get two Air and Surface Pros that cover 4,000 square feet for the same price that I can get a AP Plus. And I can set it on, I could put one in the upstairs of my house and one in the downstairs of my house. I can put one in the basement, one on the first floor. With an AP Plus, I'm getting, 3,000 square feet, but it's in one floor. Right now, we'll air, the air will work its way through your duct work and all that kind of stuff, and it gets around the house. So, anyways, I'm not trying to say that don't sell the AP Plus, but what I'm saying is that your AP Plus is now your gold standard, your Cadillac, your the higher end price point technology. That if I'm selling, say for example, for a school, most classrooms are not 3,000 square feet. They may be a few hundred square feet, maybe 1,000, at best, 800 square feet. So one Air and Service Pro, the old technology versus one AP Plus makes more sense in that environment anyway. So for the big bulk deals, I can be way more competitive than what I used to be. Now, obviously, there's some situations like, let's say you're in a school system that requires for the bid a true HEPA. Well, that's something that now the AP Plus offers is a true HEPA. So now you can be way more competitive on that side of the deal. So a lot of times when we go to bid a project, you can't even bid a project unless you have true HEPA. Well, we have it in our AP Plus. So that's something that's really big. So let me just look at something here real quick. Sorry, I got like 9 things going on here. I'm gonna go to the price point technology. So now you can still buy a 3-pack as a rep, a 3-pack of the ASPs for what we used to buy, or the XLs for what we used to pay for the Air and Service Pro. It's almost identical. Actually, it might be a little bit less. And then if we still can do the 5-packs, but what's really cool is now we can get a 5-pack of the regular Air and Surface Pro that we've been selling for years and years and years for basically the same price as what we used to sell one machine for. So what does that mean? That means that now we're in a position to offer a better value to your customer. So let's play this thing out. So you're working a trade show, somebody comes up the aisleway, they just got pitched on an $800 machine down the aisle from you. Their question is, well, why should I buy yours versus that guy? Well, guess what? First of all, I can be cheaper than that guy. Okay, because I can be. I own my own business. So, I could say, well, if he's at, I could jump out on these things at 750. Okay. Or I could do 800 and then I could say I'll cover tax and shipping, but to make it even sweeter is why don't you buy one, get one free basically at the 1,500 price? You know what I mean? So if we used to be $14.99 and now I can basically do a buy one, get one free and stay at $14.99. So nothing really changed. So let's say, Dave, you've been working with a client for years who doesn't want to budge. And you call that person back and you say, hey, the company made some changes. They introduced a little bit higher end technology, covers about 500, 1,500 square feet more. But the technology that you were in love with, but you didn't want to pull the trigger on, I can now sell you for half the price. So guess what? That also cuts out. It cuts out all these guys on eBay who are selling the machines for 800, because I can beat them. I can still beat those people. So it's going to eliminate a lot of that traffic in the beginning. Now, obviously, when people start buying 5-packs for the lower value, they'll start listing them on eBay for $400 or whatever. You're going to have issues there. But the company's doing the best they can do to get rid of that. But what I see is this. Now our competitive level just went up, because look, you talk to somebody and they say, well, I have a 1,500 square foot house, or great. You don't need an XL. You need an Air Surface Pro. I can cut the price down to $800 or $900, or, however you want to run it. Or let's say they have a bigger house. You can say, well, I have the XL, you can buy that. Or I get you 2 of the original Air and Surface Pros, which would actually get you 4,000 square foot of coverage for the same price as one XL. And, we still get pack bundle bonuses. It's not what it used to be. It's not how it used to be. So, I mean, you're going to lose. Obviously, when the price goes down, the commission goes down. But when you're moving bigger volumes of your product, so let's just say, for example, you're sitting on inventory right now, which I know I am. I'm sitting on some inventory. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. Some people immediately got ticked off. Well, man, I bought all this inventory and now it's, they cut the price in half and it's listed on the website. And what am I going to do? And so great, you have a fire sale. You have I mean, like companies do that all the time. Like, hey, it's not a going out of business sale, but we're doing a inventory blowout sale. Right, just like Dave said in the beginning when we were talking, I'm going to blow out some inventory, right? So you have an inventory blowout, and you move it because what is 9 machines in your garage doing for you right now? It's doing absolutely nothing for you. But you did inventory blowout, and you sell 9 machines at $1,000 a pop, or not even. Let's say 900 a pop. You think about what you're putting into your bank account, that you're moving your inventory out. Just the fact that you're moving it. Yeah, it's not 1,500 like it used to be, but I would rather be moving product and bring it in, because right now it's a complete profit, 100% profit, because your inventory is bought and paid for, and so having it tied up isn't going to do you any good. But getting it out there is what's going to do you good. And then to have the ability to then follow up with this person on what's new with our company. Okay, so I talked about this last week. I'm going to hit it again. First of all, we got the new mobile unit, right? So you have a mobile unit that's rechargeable, which we never had a chargeable mobile unit. For the rep, you can buy them in 5-packs, which is huge. I mean, that's something we've been asking for since I started, and I'm sure people asked way before I was on board with this company, right? So to be able to buy them in bulk is huge, and not just for the new technology, but for the old one as well. They dropped the price point on the old one. They dropped the price point on your Laundry Pure. And I see the numbers. The only reason why our team is the number one seller, I would say the number one seller of Laundry Pure, is because I just lead with a pro pack, with a professional pack. That's what I do. 2 air, water, and a laundry, $7,000 value. Why wouldn't you jump off? Why wouldn't you do that? So our team really leads the charge with selling things like Laundry Pure and water. Okay. But a lot of teams don't, right? So this lower price point now for the Laundry Pures is really a big deal. Because I think we're going to start moving more laundry, and Steady Powers and Living Water. I mean, like everything is like the company kind of took a step back and said, okay, great. Like we know we can move technology, but let's be in a position where it's more competitive. Look, I sold air purifiers 25 years ago, 20 years ago. Yeah, about 25 years ago, I'd say. And the hardest thing, even back in those days, was when you were selling a machine for who knows what it cost back then? $500, $800, $1,000 for a big machine, right? And you go into a place where they don't have the budget for it, so it becomes this deal, right? So then what we're doing, well, let's do easy pays and but even with easy pay, your default odds are so high. I mean, I've had people come in on easy pay, and next thing you know, I've got corporate call and say, oh, you sold a machine, the $99 a month, and we're trying to get a hold of the guy because he doesn't return our calls. So he got the machine, maybe paid twice or whatever, and then skins out on you. Nobody wins in those situations, right? But when I have a machine now that I can sell for literally, what is it, $799.99 plus tax and shipping? I mean, it's almost a no-brainer right now for people to buy the product. Okay. So then you start to introduce some of this new technology to people. So it's like a circle back to the people that you've been dealing with. I mean, think about how many leads we all have from 2020 till today that we can now circle back to those leads and say, listen, we have exciting news. We've done it. Like we started to do it, before we started traveling again, is to grab a stack of the leads that we've had and start to call back the people who were interested in the product, but the budget wasn't there. Well, I really like your stuff, but I don't have $1,500 extra right now. And when you go back to that person, say, hey, it's got some exciting news. Laundry Pure used to be $14.99, but now we dropped the retail price of it. And the Air and Surface Pro used to be $14.99, but we dropped the retail price to $800 basically. Just want to let you know. And I know you really wanted it, but you couldn't afford it. Or maybe your house was so big that you needed to have 2 units, but you didn't want to spend $3,000. Well, guess what? I'm basically giving you buy one, get one free right now. So anyways, that's just one thing. The second thing is this whole subscribe and save offer that the company's doing now. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think they dropped some of the point value of the nutritional, but I'm sure that's just, because we're giving away millions and millions of dollars worth of free product, but the company knows what they're doing. But it all adds up. I mean, what is I think Essentials for Life 40 points. So some of these are 40 points, some of them are 50 points. But let's just say that, we switch gears starting today. And we do the ELS or whatever they call it. I call it the HHS, the Healthy Home Showcase, right? And go back in time to when you were doing your HHSs and people were coming out and you're filling a room. And out of that room, maybe 2 people come on with a Pro Pack, or maybe somebody bought an Air and Surface Pro or whatever. But let's say out of 10, 2 move to action, 8 walks out the door. Why can't we have the sheets printed and say, hey, listen, guys, I know that right now is not the perfect time for you to maybe buy a pack or whatever, but the company wants to give you a free gift of a nutritional product. And all you have to do is just choose which one you like and fill out this form with me. And you could still have the paper forms there. And then at the end of the night, just sit there and get on your computer and load them all in. Or you could sit with your iPad or laptop at the end of your Healthy Home Show with the person and get them started with their free subscribe and save. And the company pays you $10 a piece, which, like Mike said, hey, I'm going to go out and put 100 new people in my business this year for free on a free subscription. The company's going to pay you, $1,000 to do it. And but it's not even so much that, it's what comes out of it. I talked to somebody the other day and I said, how's things going are you moving anybody in on this new free subscription? And this lady says, yeah, I put in a girl on the free subscribe and save. I said, did she do anything? She said, yeah, she bought an Air and Surface Pro, and I think it may be a Living Water or something like that, because she got the coupon, the drip campaign. So here goes somebody who wasn't going to do anything, joins for free, gets a free subscription, stays on the subscription, and now buys a air and service pro and a living water. That's a win-win, right? Then you start running your numbers, go back, like what I've seen since January is that I have if I go through my downline report every month, right? And I look at the amount of people who are on subscriptions, unless they're like the old guard, like, I mean, you talk about the people who've been with me since the beginning, right? So most of the people who've been with us since the beginning are automatically going to buy a subscription. They're getting 100 points and they're trying to achieve a certain level, pay level, right? What I'm seeing now is that everybody who I've put in since January, because of the free subscription, every month they're staying on a subscription. So the problem with that is let's say since January I've had 150 people join, where there's 1,900 that joined before January who don't buy anything on a monthly basis, or they sit and wait to see what their team's going to do. Right. And I think that's really why this new subscribe and save and join thing is going to be a game changer. If I was to start my business today from scratch, what's my business going to look like in 2 years from today? And just some of you guys are brand new, you're just coming on board, right? And so if you were to start your business today, fresh out of the gate, bringing on people with this new subscribe and save and join, even at 40 points a month, if you put 100 people in, you just start doing the math. Like, what does it take to get you to gold? 5,000 points, over 3 months. So if I took, let's say they get a 50-point item, you get 100 people on, or whatever that number is, and you figure out 50 points. So you could technically make these higher pay ranks, because it's obviously you need active legs and things like that. So just having 5,000 points come in on a monthly basis isn't going to help you, but it's going to help if you have out of those 100 people who are buying 50 points a month, if you have 3 who catch the fire and they start going out and accumulating subscriptions like this, in a course of a year, you can be a platinum 2, 3, 4, gold, right? And consistently getting paid at that level. Because guys, I always say this, it's not that difficult. When you have enough momentum, it's really not that difficult to maintain a gold pay level. Because if you think about it, it's 3 legs, it's 5,000 points, 3 legs. And 3 active legs, 5,000 points. And you need new life coming into your business anyway. So when you're doing these, what does it take to do 3 legs and 5,000 points? Well, it takes effort, obviously. I heard a guy the other day talking about, what's the difference between success and failure in business, right? We all start with the same exact opportunity, right? So each and every one of us starts with the exact same opportunity. I have the same opportunity as Dave, as Amanda, as Christina, as Kim. We all have the exact same opportunity. The difference between a successful person and a non-successful person is the successful person doesn't stop. We don't quit. The other thing is your mindset. What is your mindset telling you? Are you thinking in lack? Or are you thinking in abundance? Because when your mentality is a lack mentality, right? And all you think about is the lack of, especially in sales, in sales, a lot of times people think, well, man, there's not enough people to buy, right? I used to do door-to-door sales, and it was always, you get into a neighborhood, and you say, oh my gosh, man, nobody wants to buy in this neighborhood. But think about it, I'm in a neighborhood, there's 200 homes. I could think lack, and I could say, man, every door I knock, nobody wants it. Or I could think abundance. I could say, wow, I got 200 potential homes. Yeah, I got 50 no's, but there's still 150 potential yeses here. And I'm just going to keep moving forward. That's an abundance mindset. Because you could sit there and you could say, oh man, my team leader, they get all the good people and I don't get anybody. Or my team, the guy, whatever. Like, it's business, right? So you could say, well, I should have started sooner, or, so-and-so's got a bigger team than me. That's why they make more money than me. But so-and-so started with the same exact opportunity you started with. I mean, I started with zero. What's the difference between me and you is I just keep pushing, right? The difference between success and failure is don't quit, continue to move forward, and don't make excuses, right? So, you could say, well, the economy's bad. Well, the economy may be horrible, but during the Great Depression, there were millionaires. There were people who made millions and millions of dollars during the worst economic time in our country's history. There were people who lost everything. There's people who were on the flip side of that coin. Every time there's a recession or a downturn, there's people who are making money. Like, think about during the pandemic, how many people, well, I lost my job. Well, how many people joined Vollara and made more money than they've ever made before? It really boiled down to mindset, looking for opportunities. How do you think? What do you like? What's your daily thought process? Is it that it's not going to happen for me? Or is it that if it's going to happen to anybody, it's going to happen to me? And that's really what we have to fix is what happens between our ears. So if you want to be successful in business, you have to be successful in between your ears first. You have to know every day getting up that I'm a very successful person. You have to proclaim it, and I'm not saying, whoa, you just say it and it's going to happen. No, well, I mean, technically, yeah, I'm saying that because once you start to believe in it, and you start to believe in the product, and you start to believe in yourself, and you start to believe that anything I put my hand to will prosper. That's why we say things like that, right? Everything I put my hand to will prosper. It's biblical, number one. But the second point is that the more I say it, the more it builds the faith. What is faith? Faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God, right? So if the word of God says everything I put my hand to is going to prosper, then everything I put my hand to should prosper. Because what I did was I built my faith because I read the word, then I repeated the word, then I believed in it. And then because I believed in it, then I had this success and I had the breakthrough. That's how faith works, right? That's how doubt takes you out of action, but action takes you out of doubt. It's forward momentum. It's so you have to, I always used to say this, I don't remember who said, I think it was Zig Ziglar used to say, you have to be before you can do, and you have to do before you can have. So first thing is you have to be that successful person. You have to be it first, right? So you have to be successful before you'll ever be successful. I think Dave, I just want to tell Dave as well, he just walked on. But anyways, you have to be successful first. Then do comes in. So then you have to go out and do the things that make you successful. Because just being it, just sitting there saying every day, I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be somebody, right? But you don't actually go out and do. So you have to be before you can do. So first step, yeah, get out there and you be it, right? You become a success. Second step is to go out and actually do something that leads you to success. So first is to be it. Second step is to actually go out and do it. What is do it? Anything. Do anything. Okay. So in a business like this, so if you're in door-to-door sales, for example, doing it is knocking on more doors. In a business like this, where we don't have to go out and knock on a door, doing it is doing an HHS. Doing it could be doing picking up your phone and calling people. Doing it could be doing a virtual meeting with somebody. Doing it could be going to a networking group, joining a BNI, doing it could be going to a new hair salon, getting your dog groomed at a new groomer. We just set up our dog groomer. Got a new dog groomer. Guy does an amazing job. Now he's got an Aaron Service Pro sitting on a shelf. Doing it's thinking outside of the box. Hey, I've had doing it as me giving somebody a unit. I've done that at trade shows. I just did it recently in my last trade show where I just blessed somebody with a unit. Yeah, but Mark, that doesn't pay the bills. Yeah, but I got seed in the ground, and it did really. It flipped everything for my show, because once I released that, I sowed that machine to somebody, then I reaped the harvest, because that's just what happens. So sometimes doing it is just thinking outside of the box. That's why, for me, I always lead with the business versus leading with the sale. And because of that, we've been successful in the business and we've achieved a lot of our goals. So really then it just boils down to your mindset. Are you successful? And then here's the other thing. This is something that God put on my heart to share, is that we can't be bound by fear, because that's really what slows you down in business is fear. And I've talked about this many, many times in trainings, where fear paralyzes you because you've already worked out a scenario in your head. What John Kennedy says, all we have to fear is fear itself, right? And what fear is false evidence appearing real, right? So what happens is you start to play out a scenario in your head. Well, I'm gonna call this person, and then they're gonna tell me they're not interested. And and then all of a sudden you start to feel this negative emotion come over you of what could potentially happen if the person rejects you. And all this stuff starts to play out. Fear kicks in, and guess what? You never make the phone call. So I'm going to give you like a pointer that has worked for me, because I've started many businesses, is that you just do it, right? So like, what is your number one first initial reaction when you're pitched an idea? Okay, so let's just go. I'm coming out of the Vollara world right now, just going into the real world, right? So first things first, somebody comes to me and says, Mark, or even like, I feel it, man, I think I should open a restaurant. Okay. What's my very first feeling? I'm excited. Something just resonates with me, right? That's so in other words, I pitch you, I come to you, say, hey, Amanda, I got Vollara, right? What's the very first thing that you feel? Feel excitement. Oh man, I love it. It's great. Then you need to move, because if you sit on it for too long, then fear and doubt come in. You overthink it. We overthink it. You start to play out the worst case negative scenario. It's like sometimes people say, well, I'm praying for breakthrough. And then they pray, God says, okay, this is what I want you to do. And then guess what? It's, well, I'm going to keep praying and 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 keep praying until I get the negative answer that I'm looking for. Because you're paralyzed by fear. So go back to the very first gut initial reaction, because that's where the Holy Spirit's moving, is that initial gut reaction. And then everything else after that is something else trying to deter you from stepping into your destiny. So for example, if I'm in ministry and it's like, well, if the Lord says to me, Mark, go out and preach and travel. Okay. And I get excited about it. What do you think is going to happen the more I sit on it? The more I sit on it, the more negative starts to pop up, right? So, well, man, I tried to go, but, my meeting got canceled, or nobody wants to book it, or this thing happened, or that thing happened. So then all of a sudden I could justify not doing it. Well, I just don't think I should do it because I don't feel right about it. No, rewind to the beginning. Whenever you first were pitched with that idea, or you first had that idea, go back to your very first initial feelings that you had, and that's what you need to stand on. Because everything else then is you allow time to allow doubt and fear to set in. Okay. So, and I'm telling you, it grips you. Like I remember going back to door to door, and I keep going back to door to door, because that door to door sales is like, it's really difficult way to make a living. Like I don't think I could ever do it, you know, the way I did it. I had to do it, you know, because I was in school and I needed to make money. And but it taught me a lot about these things, right? And so, you know, you go to your meeting and you get all fired up and everybody's, you know, ready to go kick doors down and do all this stuff. But then when push comes to shove, you're in the neighborhood and you're by yourself. You know, you have your fanny pack and your little snack bars and your bottle of water and your iPad, and it's up to you to go knock on everybody's door. So initially you come out there gung ho, man. Like I could just light the world on fire. And then you knock your first door and it's negative. Knock the second door, it's negative. Knock the third door, it's negative. If your mindset's not right, you're done. I've seen people like totally break, sitting on the curb crying. I want to go home. I hate this job. This isn't for me, right? And then guess what happens? They start to press in. So there's a defining moment in your life that happens right then and there. On the curb, tears flowing. And it happens to the best of the best. So then that's where this is right then and there is where the decision has to be made. Am I going to quit? Am I throwing in the towel, giving up, or am I going to just keep pushing? Because let me tell you something, there's no greater feeling than landing a deal. I mean, it's crazy because you, especially in door-to-door sales, you knock, negative, crying, people pulling guns on you, people physically shoving you, you know, dogs chasing you, whatever. I mean, in Pittsburgh, when I remember years ago, I do door-to-door sales in the wintertime. You can't imagine how many stairs I fell down, icy steps, you know, like fell through people's porches. I mean, just like the crazy stuff that happens to you. I mean, I was in neighborhoods where the police were surrounding houses, and I mean, just crazy stuff, you know, helicopters circling. I mean, I was in Charlotte, helicopters circling, somebody got shot, you know, in the neighborhood that I'm working in. But, you know, and you may go 3-4 days, no sales at all. And then all of a sudden, boom, your sale hits and you forget all about the negative. Man, you could light the world on fire. It's like literally like it erases all the fear, all the doubt, all the negativity. You sit at somebody's table and you sign, and they're signing that paperwork, and you're doing an install in somebody's house or whatever that deal is. And in Vollara, it's I'm delivering that unit, or I'm dropping this thing off at the post office, and they're depositing $800, $900, $1,500 in my bank account. All the negativity goes away. Every bit of it. And it's like it never, ever happened. Just checking my comments here. It's like it never happened. And that's really why we have to press in this business. And I'm telling you, it can eliminate years of frustration. I think about Kim on my team who got this massive school deal, and it took an entire year. And it was actually longer than that, because I was working with that school for probably 6 or 8 months before Kim even talked to that school. So you think about it, you're looking at 18 months of back and forth. And from the initial email that I got to 6 months of working it, to being shut down, to Kim picking it up, to me and Kim working it, to doing walkthroughs, to doing Zoom meetings, to meetings with the, you know, how many trips did I make from Florida to Pennsylvania even just to go with her to meet with the superintendent, to walk through schools, right? So if you're going through that process and you're at month 11 and you still haven't closed that deal, doubt could set in, frustration could set in, all these different feelings and emotions could hit. And then even when you're at the point of the close and financial things pop up and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to come up with $150,000 or whatever, you know what I mean? There's every opportunity to give up, every opportunity to throw in the towel, every opportunity to say, I'm not going to do it. And then guess what happens? Deal closes, check hits the person's bank account, and all that time just disappears. all that, time. And I think about even for us in Bible school, 2 years of 2.5 years, 3 years of just grinding. Couldn't make ends meet financially, whatever, having to bring on roommates and all that stuff. And then when you graduate and then you start to step into your destiny, it's like none of that ever happened to you. Yeah, you did. It shaped you, it made you, because you didn't quit and you kept pressing in. When most people will give up and throw in the towel. And I think the biggest problem with our society and our culture today is people just quit. It's the going gets tough, It's like we have to protect people nowadays, especially kids. They'll expose them to all kind of wickedness, but you can't call them a name or pick on them or anything like that, because then it'll damage them and they need to go to their safe space. But listen, that's what makes people strong. Overcoming adversities in life. Not everybody can win at the contest. But in today's society, everybody gets a trophy just because you showed up. Then what's the point in even trying anymore? If everybody wins, then what's the point in trying? Because the guy who works really hard to win and then gets the same trophy as the kid who doesn't even show up, then the guy who works really hard is going to quit working hard. Because what's the point? So there has to be something to separate the winner from the loser, and to make you to dig deep inside of you, to pull something out of yourself to take you to a higher level. And I really believe that that's the reason why, we don't see the success that we've seen in the past, is because it's so much easier just to give up. Because what's the point? Right? So we're going to eliminate all that, eliminate that mindset. Here's my challenge for you is this. It's almost like this: restart your business today. Pretend like today is day one. You've got nobody on your team. You got no points. Just like for me, go back to day one and feel the excitement of day one. Feel the excitement of it. Okay. Then move forward like it's the first day of your business. Who are you going to call? Who's the very first person that comes to your mind? Pick up the phone, call that person. Listen, I just thought about you. I got this amazing opportunity. You got to be a part of what's happening right now, and have that energy that you had on day one. And guess what? It's 100 times better today than it was on day one. Because I could start something on a 3-pack of the old Aaron Service Pros for like nothing now, financially. Make some points, get some money flowing, and get a point towards the trip to Denmark and all. Because even in the old 3-pack, you still get a point. The old 5-pack, you still get a point. So you sign somebody on one of those things, maybe they sign on two 3-packs or 2 5-packs of the old technology. Man, you're bringing in some serious points towards your trip. And make a goal. Say, my goal for this year is gold. I'm going to go gold. You know why? Because now every month the company's going to give away 1 ounce of gold on the Go for Gold challenge. So I'm definitely going to make sure I'm a gold every month, because just to be in the pool to potentially win that, and then to get all the overflow gets divvied out between all the other executives, which could be an extra a couple $100 a month, $200-300 a month, plus the potential to get a $2,000 gold coin. I'm in it. So do the Go for Gold challenge. Stop sitting around waiting for somebody to do your business for you. Stop sitting around complaining. Stop circling the same wagon over and over and over again. Oh, I talked to this restaurant owner. I talked to this gym owner. I talked to this. I hear people all the time. And you're circling the same gym owner for the last 20 months, around and around and around and around. You know what? How many more gym owners are out there ready to spend money? I tried a trade show and it didn't work. So what? Who cares? That trade show didn't work. Go find another one. Maybe it didn't work when our price point was $1,500, but it'll work when it's $800. Stop living in the past. And here's the other thing too, is this. when you're presented with, okay, remember what I said, what's your initial reaction to something? That's where that's where you have to live. So, hey, there's also times in life where somebody presents me with an opportunity. My initial gut reaction is negative, but then I give myself time to talk myself into it. Initial gut, I'm not feeling it. But then after time, I go, well, maybe I can make it work. Maybe we could do this, and boy, just think about the potential and look how much money I can make. And all of a sudden you start to get attracted to an idea and I talk yourself into it. Then you're like, that's where you're outside of the will of God. Initial gut reaction, go back to it. How did you feel the first day somebody pitched Vollara to you? How did you feel, man? And then don't give yourself time to talk yourself out of it. Don't get, how did I feel the minute I stepped foot into a neighborhood? Because I tell you what, in door-to-door sales, man, I'd step into some neighborhoods and I knew right off the bat, this is not going to be a good neighborhood. I mean, in my spirit, I felt it. And it wasn't. It'd be the worst neighborhood. And there's some neighborhoods where I'd step into, I'm like, man, this neighborhood is going to be good. But then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 doors, 20 doors, 30 doors in, I'm not selling. And all of a sudden my mindset starts to shift and I start to talk myself out of being there. But those are the neighborhoods when I pressed in, I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 deals out of. Imagine if I'd have quit. Imagine if I'd have given up. Because I didn't trust my initial reaction to it. Okay. So I don't know who that's for, but there's a lot of people watching it. We got people 11 or 12 watching online right now on YouTube. Got a couple of you here on Zoom still. So 8 still watching. Looks like eight or so are watching online. So that's good. Welcome on YouTube. Guys, seriously, on YouTube, like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done it yet, do it. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you're sharing it. I've tried to put up different types of content too. All my lives right now are going towards my Vollara Zoom trainings, but eventually I'll be doing more ministry lives and stuff like that as well. But then I also try to print to post some shorts that are inspirational and different things like that. So it's good quality content. I try to put up good stuff that you'll learn from. But if you haven't subscribed, make sure you're subscribing. And so really, let's just run with this thing. Run with it. Like, guys, you need to have freedom. We need to have freedom in our life, right? The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Christ came that we have life and life abundantly. That's in John 10, verse 10. So if your life, if you're being stolen from, your dreams are being killed, you're not living an abundant life, then you have to say, where's this coming from? It's not coming from the Lord, it's coming from the thief who came to steal, kill, and to destroy. If I'm in sickness, didn't come from the Lord, came from the thief. If I'm in debt, didn't come from the Lord, came from the thief. Thieves come to steal, right? If I'm in doubt, it doesn't come from the Lord, it's coming from the thief, right? If I've given up on my dreams, where did it come from? So unless it's an abundant life, you have to ask yourself, where is it coming from? Right? So don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Like, just go back down to the basics. Don't overthink your business. Don't overthink your strategies, none of that stuff. Like, and like when I used to fly airplanes, they used to call it the 6-pack. You have 6 gauges that you focus on. So you ever sit in a cockpit of an airplane, there's 50,000 switches, and knobs and, as you said, like, I mean, if you ever looked into a cockpit of a big like a big jet, and it's like there's switches all over the roof and, there's all this stuff happening. But what it boils down to is those 6 key gauges that every pilot knows, right? So what's your 6-pack in this business? What is it that we should be doing on a daily basis to make you successful on a daily basis, right? What is it? So it's showing the business to people, selling some products, making pitches, doing healthy home showcases, maybe doing a trade show, maybe knocking a door or two if that's what you feel led to do, right? Maybe it's picking up the phone, calling some people. Maybe it's doing a virtual show. Maybe it's whatever. Maybe you run a Facebook ad for a business opportunity. You know, hey, I'm doing a live meeting on Facebook. If you're looking to make you know, a couple extra $1,000 a month, click on this link, sign up for this thing, you know, and then the person comes on board and you pitch them your business. And who knows? Like, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I'm not saying it's what you should do. But these are things like when you start to think outside of the box a little bit, that's where your success happens. How about getting out every lead you've ever had and recalling them and saying, I got exciting news. We're doing a blowout sale. I've never seen prices this low in my entire career in this business. I know you wanted a laundry pair. We just dropped the retail price on it. I know you wanted a living water. We just dropped the retail on it. I know you were interested in the Air and Surface Pro, but you couldn't afford it, but now you can. With new excitement, right? Like Dave said in the beginning of the call, I'm going to blow out my inventory. And the thing is you don't really even need to blow it out. You don't need to, because just because we have an Air and Surface Pro Plus doesn't mean we give up on the Air and Surface Pro. There's nothing wrong with the Air and Surface Pro. I mean, man, we've sold thousands of those things, but now I can sell them for half the price. I'm gonna start. I mean, if any time was the time to buy a 5-pack Air and Surface Pros, because you know me, I'm not a big proponent of selling 5-packs at all. But when you can buy a 5-pack for what we used to buy a 3-pack for, I mean, it's almost a no-brainer. You know, inventory up, put some sales pressure under yourselves, go out and get it done. And if you don't have the money, then do what we've all done when we don't have money. Sign up people, sign people up, sign people up, sign people up, sign people up. Sign them for free on the free subscription, but introduce them to the Pro Pack. So, you know, that's really, if you guys, I mean, like, if I was in a financial spot right now, okay, and I'm like, man, I got to make $1,000 between now and the end of this month, I would sign 3 people on a Pro Pack between now and the end of this month. It would be no questions asked. It'd be done. I mean, I don't care how many phone calls I'd have to make, how many meetings I'd have to have, how many healthy home shows. I mean, what's stopping you from inviting 10 people to a Panera Bread in the meeting room, putting an ad out, doing whatever? Hey, business opportunity. You don't think that in today's economy, people aren't looking for a side hustle? You know, interest rates on a home loan are 7% right now. You know, your money's going half as far as it used to go. You have to earn double what you earned 5 years ago to make the same income, to have the same buying power. You don't think people are looking for ways to make extra money right now? You don't think that with New York covered in orange smoke that people aren't looking for air quality solutions? With viruses coming out, new viruses coming out, people getting sick. You don't think that, and you think what, schools stopped caring about air quality in their classroom? You think that just stopped? No, it's never been stronger than it is today. It's never been stronger than it is right now. The only thing it stops is us. You know, because you start talking yourself out. Well, you know, we had the glory days during COVID, and now it's all done. Oh, that's a lie. The biggest deal hasn't hit yet. The biggest deal in our team's history, in this company's history, is still sitting out there. Who's going to get it? Who's going to be the person that goes out and gets it? There's going to be a franchise that buys 100,000 units. Who's going to be the person that lands that deal? And you ain't going to get it just dreaming about it. You got to get yourself in a position to meet new people, talk to new people, network with new people. You know, it's not going to be some cold call. I walked in and no, you're going to have to build a team, put millions of nets in the water, you know, continue to grow, continue to plug in. And what's going to happen is somebody in your group is going to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's on the chairman of the board for some franchise. And that guy's going to buy 100,000 units and he's going to be on your second level and you're going to make more money you've ever had before in your entire life. And then you're saying, wow, that was worth it. Am I just dreaming? No, I honestly believe it. It's going to happen. I mean, I'd like it to happen to me. I want my deal. I want to land a school deal. I want to land a hospital deal. I want something big, right? I'm happy when people on my team get it, but what about me? What's stopping me from getting it? I mean, hey, I'm just as guilty as the rest of the people. So let's just say it. As of today, June, what is this? June the 12th, 2023. Let's just have a complete reset and a restart. We got a brand new company with a brand new plan on a brand new mission with so many tools that if you fail, it's on you. And you take personal responsibility for your success and your failure and say, as of today, I'm running. As of today, I'm going to run like my life depends on it. Guys, listen to me. Don't wait for every light to turn green. Don't sit there and just God, bring me a solution to my problem. You know, I'll just end with this old story that most of you've probably heard. But there's a guy and he's in the middle of a flood and he's sitting on the roof of his house and the water's rising and he's praying, God, save me. And next thing you know, guy comes by in a boat. Here, hop in the boat. No, I'm believing God to save me. Okay, the boat drives off. Waters continue to rise. Next thing you know, another bigger boat comes by. Guy, come on. No, I'm believing God's going to save me. Next thing you know, the house is up to the top of the roof. A helicopter comes by with a line. Grab a hold of the line. No, I'm believing God to save me. Helicopter flies off. The guy's house is completely flooded. He drowns. He's in heaven. God, why didn't you save me? He's like, man, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. You didn't take it. Your solution is in your hands. You're saying, God, give me financial breakthrough. And he's like, well, what are you doing? I've given it to you. God, give me a healing. I gave you a healing 2,000 years ago. Why haven't you grabbed the hold of it? Give me overflow. Give me increase. It's already there. I've given you a vehicle. Go out and get it. God, put food on my table. You know, and this is what we do. Let's switch it up. Say, okay, God, thank you so much for putting this tool into my hand that gives me everything that I need. Because he gave this to us as a gift. Now all we have to do is just exercise it. Make him happy, right? Thank you, Lord. I become a good steward of what you've given me. He gave you a talent. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to bury it? Are you going to stick it in the ground and maybe earn some interest on it? Or are you going to go out and multiply that talent? Are you going to take your talent and turn it into 5 talents or 10 talents? What are you going to do with it? That's up to you. Okay, so all I can do is just encourage you to go out and get it done. Look, it's 12 o'clock, I believe. That's close enough. And I don't want to bore everyone, but that's what I felt on my heart today. You know, I was sitting there and I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And, you know, because I really believe that this new technology is great, but I think that what we had is even better because of the new price point. And so let's hit on that, hit on the old stuff. Hey, look, 2 Air and Service Pros for the price of 1. It's almost a no-brainer. Go out and just move it. Move your old inventory, move the old technology, maybe sell a few new ones here and there. Sell the laundry pure at the lower price, but do it. Just go out and do it and get it done. And like Pastor Eric says, which he stole from Zig Ziglar, if you do all that, then we'll see you at the top, right? I want to see you guys in Stockholm, Sweden. I want to see you in Copenhagen, Denmark, in 2024, enjoying the fruits of your efforts. Some of you guys are way far out, man. Like if you look at your points right now, you got 0 points, but you got 7 months to get 50 points. You know what the beauty is if you look at what you can get 25 points just by doing that point increase. And some of you had such low years last year that maybe you only need 50,000 points. 50,000 points, you can do it. Between, you know, like I need 200 and some thousand points. You need 50,000, you can do it. So go look at your goals. Make it a goal. I will be in Stockholm, Sweden. I will be in Copenhagen, Denmark in 2024, and I'll be celebrating. But if you wait until December, it ain't going to happen. Today is your day. Today's your day. Go out and get it. Go out and get it. Let's win this race. All right. So anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for coming on. I know I had just a few on Zoom. Looks like we had about 11 people watching on YouTube. Hey, YouTube people, thank you so much for tuning in. And also the 30 or 40 of you that are going to watch this after the fact, make sure you like and subscribe because I am putting the content up here on YouTube. And eventually I'll get off of Zoom altogether because there's really no point in me paying to be on Zoom when I can do it for free on YouTube. And but anyways, that's it. Like and subscribe to the channel, share it, and get the word out. Let your team members know, it's 50 square feet, Dave. It's right. You'll see it on the pack. So it's 50. But anyways, Dave was asking the coverage for the new mobiles 50. But anyways, we'll see you next Monday. All right. And then on the corporate calls. Have a blessed day. See you, Dave. See you, Amanda. Yeah, there you go. It's 50 square feet. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Bless you guys.
Hey, bless you.